Now listen up.
Because Insights EDU 2025 is coming, and this is the conference you don't want to miss. Meet us February 12th through 14th in New Orleans for one of our favorite higher education marketing and enrollment management events of the year. Imagine 3 days packed with actionable insights and the latest innovations in higher ed. We're talking top industry experts, real-world case studies, and hands-on workshops designed to help you grow your programs, boost engagement, and elevate your student experience. This is your chance to hear the latest higher ed trends from speakers at Google, Reddit, Meta, MIQ Digital, and schools across the country. Mark your calendars, get your team, and get ready to welcome the era of the modern learner at Insights EDU 2025. Register now at insightsedu.com and secure your spot. We'll see you there.
Attention.
Registration is now open for the Middle States Commission on Higher Education 2024 Annual Conference, Protecting the Future, Champions for Higher Education, December 11th through 13th, 2024 in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Don't miss out. Register today at msche.org/annual-conference or head to msche.org and click on the conference link. I'll see you there.
Hey everybody, it's Elvin Freitas, co-founder of the EdUp Experience. And hopefully you know by now that we have started our subscription-based model where we have original content, bonus content, get invites to special events. So right now it's $2.99 a month, and as of January 1st, 2025, it's going to go up to $19.99 a month. So go to edupexperience.com, edupexperience.com, look for subscribe now to lock in that lifetime EdUp Experience founders rate. $2.99 a month, edupexperience.com. Look for subscribe.
Welcome back, everybody. It's your time to Ed Up on the EdUp Experience podcast, where we make education your business. This is Dr. Joe Salustio back with you on another episode. And you know what they say is that everything eventually circles around and takes you home. A little teaser for this episode today as we kind of follow my life a little bit to where I am from. In upstate New York. I was born and raised in suburb of Syracuse, New York. I was born at St. Joe's Hospital in Syracuse and then grew up in Liverpool, New York. Went to Liverpool High School and Baldwinsville High School for 2 years, played soccer, did that whole thing. That's when, at the time, and I know my mother still lives in Baldwinsville and says the weather is changing in Syracuse. But back in those days, there's pictures of me, probably 12 or 13 years old with my arms up in the air. So you got to figure I was probably over 5 feet with my arms close to 6 feet, maybe a little more, with snowbanks taller than me at the end of my driveway. That is just the way you grew up in the Cuse, as you were. And by the way, the greatest college basketball team in existence, in my humble opinion, Syracuse Orange, Carmelo Anthony and crew. I still have, for our guest, and I say this because I am a basketball fanatic, a Syracuse fanatic, a wrapped copy of the 2003 Syracuse University National Championship win. Wow. It's a wrapped DVD. Nice. Now, by the time, and I said to myself, I think I've said this on the podcast before, I said, I want Syracuse to go back to the national final, and then I will open said DVD and watch it before their final. It has been many years now, so by the time that happens, I may not be able to put the DVD in a player of any kind. So I don't know why I keep it, but I do.
Well, let's hope we get one soon.
That's right. We're going to get one soon. Ladies and gentlemen, let me bring my guest in right now because we got a lot to talk about. He is Dr. Warren Hilton. He's the president of Onondaga Community College. What's going on, Warren? How are you?
Hey, things are well, Joe. It's a good time to be in Central New York. Certainly glad to be talking to you, someone from upstate New York, and you know the Cuse very well. So happy to be here. It's an exciting time in higher education.
And I do know many, many things about Onondaga Community College, many things. Growing up, Onondaga Community College was, like many community colleges, thought of, well, if you don't go here, you're going to go to the community college. And I'm so happy, as I've talked to nearly, I think, maybe even more than 100 community college presidents, how rapidly that stigma is changing. And I really love you to start talking about OCC, who do you serve? How do you serve them? And what's it like as people talk and experience OCC?
Yeah, so OCC is a really wonderful place that we say community is our middle name, and we really mean that. We are the community college, the community's college, if you will. Well, where we sit on Onondaga Hill is actually, we sit on the land of the Onondaga Nation, Native Americans, I should say, who are part of the Haudenosaunee, and such a wonderful opportunity to serve when you think about it, going all the way back in the history of the lands that we sit in. We're still serving Native American students to this day, and everybody else, right? So I often say it doesn't matter to us whether you're 16 or 60. It doesn't matter whether you have $0 in the bank or $1 million in the bank. It doesn't matter if you got a degree from another state university of New York. And it doesn't matter if you have a quote unquote degree from the state penitentiary of New York. There is a place for you here at Onondaga Community College. And that's what makes this so exciting. The opportunities that we provide. We are the most affordable pathway to a 4-year degree. Last year, almost 70% of our students graduated with no student loan debt, on their way either to transfer to a 4-year institution. We have partnerships with many, many institutions. In fact, next week, we have our transfer fair on campus for our students. There's over 30 institutions, many of them local, Syracuse University, Oswego, you name it. And then some from outside of the area, going all the way down to North Carolina with Johnson C. Smith, into Pennsylvania with Lincoln University, which both are historically Black colleges and universities. And then the other pathway is our students are going out directly to work, many of them making more than sustaining wages. And I know we'll get into some of those career pathways in a second. So that's really who we are, right? We're serving the whole community. We have students in high school that take our curriculum. We have, people who are returning to the workforce. And certainly we have that traditional, going from high school to college population.
Tell them like it is.
That's right.
So, I wish, if had I gone back in time, so I went through the SUNY system in New York, but I'm not going to say I wasted my first couple of years, but I certainly didn't have as much direction as I probably could have had. And going back in time, I wish I would have gone to OCC to find what I wanted to do. I was kind of a lost student. In fact, there's some days I'm pretty surprised that I even made it through. And here I am doing a higher ed podcast, if you can believe it.
Yes.
How do you get the message out? How do you make sure that students know that there's this option, that this maybe for some families a better way to experience higher education, especially if they're coming from modest, lower economic backgrounds, to be able to catalyze their experience and not saddle them with debt?
Yeah, that's a very good question. How do we expose the community to what we have to offer? And in a word, it is all about partnerships, right? So we partner with many people in the community to get that word out. Yes, we do traditional marketing, digital marketing, billboards, all of those things. But the reality is the commitment that somebody has to make to attend Onondaga Community College is not just their commitment, it's their family's commitment. It's, as they say, the village's commitment. So our partnerships, not only with K through 12, we partner with all of the local school districts, as well as many of the schools in New York City. We partner with employers, our large employers, places like where you were born, St. Joseph's Hospital, Krause, SUNY Upstate Medical, Loretto. In the healthcare space, we partner with employers in the technology, advanced manufacturing space, like Lockheed Martin, Infocon, Micron, which is our newest, largest partner, places like Amazon, to really spread the word. Community-based organizations like the Salvation Army, for example, or Interfaith Works, places where people are, right? And we partner with them so that not only we're educating the people who work in those organizations, they're then educating, the individuals that they come in contact with in their organizations. And so because of those vast partnerships, we're able to get out into the community that we're not only your most affordable option, but one of your most rigorous options. And to your point about your own experience, we can help you whether you've already decided what you want to do or whether you're really not sure. And we hear from our students all the time, well, I came here, I really wasn't sure. I did 2 years or 3 years here, and guess what? I'm transferring to Syracuse University or SUNY Poly. You guys help me figure it out, right? And then we provide all of the wraparound supports outside of the classroom to help students no matter where they come from, right? We have an honors program here, honors college, where we have some of the best and brightest students around that come here because they want that honors experience. We also have students who have food insecurity and who are homeless, and we provide services there. And for all of our students, we're providing things like tutoring, English language support. Our tutoring operation runs from 9 a.m. to midnight, 7 days a week, right? So if you're a working individual and you got 2 kids and you know what, I can't get to tutoring until 10 o'clock at night, we make it happen for you. Or let's just say you're a 19-year-old student and you're working 2 jobs. Many of our students work 30 hours a week, right? And I can't get to tutoring until 8 o'clock at night. So that's really how we're getting the word out and just helping the community understand that we are a really great option, whether you want to figure it out, whether you already have it figured out, whether you want to go to a 4-year institution when you finish here, or whether you want to go directly to work.
I love it. One thing I heard about you, Warren, is that you're a master influencer. I heard this about you. Let me tell you how I know this.
Okay.
I mean, you start in July of 2022, and everybody hears that you start, and all of a sudden, this company, Micron, I think it's called, comes in and hears about you starting and invests like $100 million into semiconductor.
100 billion.
Billion. I was a letter off. Important letter off. And then, I don't know if it was before or after, the president hears that you've accepted this job, the governor, Senator Chuck Schumer, and they all come to a rally and show up. And I'm like, wow, this guy, master influencer. Tell us about the whirlwind of influence since you started.
I think you described it best. It was a whirlwind. I wish I can say I had that type of influence to attract $100 billion investment.
I said it. So,
but what I can say though is a part of Micron's decision and the individuals who made this happen in the county, our county executive, the governor, and certainly Chuck Schumer at the federal level. They knew that Micron was going to be interested in finding an institution like OCC to partner with to train the technicians that they're going to need, right? In the next 20 years, they're going to need 9,000 employees. Probably somewhere around 4,000 of them will be technicians, right? And that's community colleges train those technicians. So certainly in their due diligence, Micron did come and speak with us several times about what we can offer. And, we're very pleased that they made that investment in Central New York, 20 minutes from our campus. We're very pleased that President Biden showed up here with the governor and Chuck Schumer and half the dignitaries in the world, it seemed like, on our campus. But that's just one opportunity for us to showcase what our community colleges and what community colleges in general can do. And we're training students to be technicians now. We had 11 of our students last summer participate in Micron's internship program in Boise or Manassas, Virginia, Boise, Idaho, or Manassas, Virginia. Most of those students have gotten job offers already to continue working for Micron when they graduate. And then once the chip fab is built here, to return. So we have roughly 120 students in that curriculum right now.
Wow,
so we
incredible.
doubled the capacity in less than a year in that program. And so, yes, Micron, the governor, the president of the United States, Chuck Schumer, all knew that Onondaga Community College could deliver the technicians that Micron needs. And we're doing it right now for the landscape that we're in right now. We have companies like Infocon, TTM, JMA Wireless that are all here that we're training technicians for them right now. So Novellas, you name it, we're training them.
Amazing.
I think that's the beauty of what you talked about partnerships. You use the word. I mean, so this company, this major semiconductor fabrication company comes in, 100 billion, I'll get it right this time, dollars. They have to rely on education. They need a trained workforce. Now, you come from modest beginnings. You're a first-gen student, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
You've been, I would say you've journeyed throughout higher education in multiple roles, academic and operational, administrative. Why are you so passionate about community college attendance and running a community college?
I mean, we're really about, as a community college, helping people achieve their dreams. That's what at the core of what we do, right? We provide a high quality education. We're very unique as it comes with community college that we have 4 residence halls, 19 varsity sports. So our campus life is a lot like a 4-year institution. But, for me, it is that passion that is helping people achieve their dreams. And the reason why, I wake up every morning and come to OCC is because somebody did it for me, right? You talked about my modest means. I grew up in Philadelphia, in the inner city. And if it wasn't for post-secondary education and people encouraging me during my post-secondary education, I wouldn't be here today, right? And so that's really what it's all about. We have students who are placing a bet, if you will, on Onondaga Community College to say, this institution is going to help me do all they can to do to help me achieve their dreams. And that's what's so exciting to me. Whether you want to go work for a place like Micron, or whether you want to be a school teacher in an elementary school, whether you want to be the next CEO, music mogul, whatever it is, we're here to help you achieve that dream, right? We have just an amazing faculty and staff that are dedicated to doing just that. And so I see the transformative power of community colleges, right? So in 2 years, and oftentimes less with some of our certificates, we can take a person who's making $20 an hour, working somewhere locally. They get the education and training, and now they're making a wage that changes their family's life for the rest of their family's history. Where else can that happen, right, in that short period of time? So that's why I love it. It's really amazing.
Epic.
I smashed my epic button. I love to hit that button. You talk about post-secondary education, and I think this is an important point to talk about because the market shifts a little bit. You, in talking about your own story, you kind of got yourself through a degree. This may be what catalyzed your life and gave you the opportunity for more. And community colleges obviously can do both. They can offer degrees, they can offer non-credit programs or certificates and so on. And we're in the midst of what I would call a gross misunderstanding about the value of post-secondary education and a college degree in general. One of the big reasons why our podcast really turned to, and we were really covering lots of things. We're covering like the bad business models, and we still talk about those things, but we really focus on the good things. Because for a while, higher ed didn't fight back. And all these detractors come out and say, no value, bad, you're going to be in debt, and da-da-da. And then higher ed was silent, and all of a sudden the public goes, oh yeah, it's really bad. There's no value. When we talk about college, and then you go, well, wait a minute. Are we talking about red brick buildings with ivy on them? Are we talking about community colleges? Are we talking about private colleges? Are we talking about for-profit colleges? And then you realize that you can't just say all of higher education doesn't provide value. That's not true. Where does the community college president sit in helping to define the value of a college degree or post-secondary ed in general?
Yeah, I think, for me, community college, all of the sectors that you mentioned are have a place, right? For community colleges, I believe we sit at the intersection of it all, right? As I mentioned earlier, we have students who are taking our classes in high school, right? Many of them are earning 15 or 30 credits while they're in high school from us, which is going to save their families because they're taking it for free, right? And that's going to save their families money, right? We have individuals who, to your point about non-credit credentials, right, who are going to start a CNA program here at OCC. That's a non-credit program. When they complete it, do their clinical, and then they're going to go work for a place like Loretto, making somewhere between $30 and $40 an hour with benefits, right? And a place like Loretto will pay for them to get their LPN and then to get towards their RN. We have credit-based programs, right, that are either 1-year certificates or 2-year, right? So we sit at the middle in the intersection of all of that. So, and as I pointed out earlier, we're your affordable transfer pathway. So yes, if you want that 4-year degree and you're saying to yourself, maybe I don't want all the debt that comes with that 4-year degree often, not always, but often, then you can go to a place like OCC. As I pointed out, almost 70% of our students last year graduated with no student loan debt.
It's
and
pretty
the ones
incredible.
that did
That
were
really is.
far below the national average. And then transfer to a 4-year institution, right? Or you can go directly to work at many of the local businesses that pay a sustaining wage to our students. So I think community college presidents and community colleges kind of sit in the middle of what's going on right now. And that value proposition, whether your family has $0 in the bank or $1 million in the bank, people are seeing that value proposition of, wait, I don't have to rack up debt. I can get credits, or I can go the non-credit route. I can go direct to work. I can go to a 4-year institution. And at a place like Onondaga Community College, you could actually live on our campus, right? You can have that kind of what people would call a 4-year experience because we have residence halls here. You could play in one of our 19 varsity sports, right? We have on our baseball team this past year, we had 20 of our baseball players transfer to Division 1, 2, or 3 athletic programs, right? So we provide all of that. We won a national championship in women's lacrosse earlier this year. So we provide that campus life, but we do it at an affordable rate with rigorous academics. So I think community colleges, to sum up, really sit in the middle of what's going on in higher education and are increasing the value proposition. I mean, we're starting a welding program in the spring semester, right? We're going to have an HVAC program in a couple years, right? We are training. So, the rhetoric that some people were using a couple years ago, well, don't go to college, go off and be a welder. Well, guess what? You can come to OCC now and, get a degree in welding and go off and be a welder.
I like that.
One of the things that, to shift a little bit, I think that I've interviewed more presidents than anyone in the world. I'm starting to realize that. and one of the biggest takeaways from my conversations is the 3-year loop, that it takes about 3 years to really achieve that first set of goals, because you have to go through a couple of cycles. You have to work through any inertia that exists on your campus. You have to assert your leadership and your vision. Figure out, am I socializing everything? Am I going to drive an initiative off to the side because I have resistance? I've got to blueprint this organization, as it were, this business organization, and so on. You're 2 years in, 2 and change, right?
Yep.
Is that true? Is that something that you're experiencing? Is this kind of first 3 years of I don't know what the right word is, momentum building to achieve those first big goals?
Hey everybody, it's Elvin Freitas, co-founder of the EdUp Experience. And hopefully you know by now that we have started our subscription-based model where we have original content, bonus content, get invites to special events. So right now it's $2.99 a month, and as of January 1st, 2025, it's going to go up to $19.99 a month. So go to edupexperience.com, edupexperience.com, look for subscribe now to lock in that lifetime EdUp Experience founders rate. $2.99 a month, edupexperience.com, look for subscribe.
Mark your calendars now for February 12th through 14th, because this is where we welcome the era of the modern learner and the most anticipated higher education marketing and enrollment management conference of the year. We're headed to New Orleans for Insights EDU 2025. This year's event is packed with speakers from companies like Google, Meta, Reddit, and MIQ Digital, and schools across the country. Ready to learn how AI is transforming the marketing landscape and how to adapt your programs to the preferences and demands of the modern learner? Then Insights EDU 2025 is where you need to be. Register now at insightsedu.com.
Attention.
Registration is now open for the Middle States Commission on Higher Education 2024 Annual Conference, Protecting the Future Champions for Higher Education, December 11th through 13, 2024 in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Don't miss out. Register today at msche.org/annual-conference. We'll see you there.
Yeah, I'd say yes and no. I mean, I was very fortunate that my predecessor had, began a lot of really wonderful work here and was accomplishing, great deal. Before I even arrived, we were a guided pathway school. So we were making sure that we had career pathways for students and the curriculum lined up, right? We had a Title III grant where we were working on how to coach students and things of that nature. So when I came in, to your point, it was more about, hey, let's take what we're doing and elevate it to the next level if we can, right? And so, I tell people, I set aside $250,000 each year of my first 2 years. And I said to folks on campus, Dr. Warren Hilton is the president, but I'm probably not the person who's going to solve all the problems on our campus, right? It is our wonderful faculty and staff. And so with that $250,000 each year, faculty and staff have been able to put together project proposals where they can submit and get money to do exactly what we want, which is to help more students retain and graduate, right? Then on top of that, we restructured our academic structure. And we hired what we call navigators. So a navigator here, each student has a navigator. A navigator has a caseload of students, somewhere between 175 and 250 students. They're usually discipline based. So if you're a business student, this is probably one of two of your navigators, right? And they interact with the student before the student even arrives on our campus until the student completes their degree. And anything the student needs, they know I can go to this individual and they will help me figure it out, right? Even if they don't have the answer, they will help me figure it out, whether it's academic, non-academic, what have you, right? So we did that restructuring. And what we started to see was our fall to spring persistence rate went up last academic year for the first time, I'm told, since 2016. We just got our 3-year graduation rate for the cohort that started, 3.5 years, I guess, ago, or 3 years ago, and 2% increase in our 3-year graduation rate, right? So a lot of these efforts started before I got here. For me, it's just how do we elevate, what we were doing. And most recently this semester, we're implementing the 4 disciplines of execution, which is a process and tool by which every single department will have what Franklin Covey calls a wildly important goal, right? Or a WIG that supports the college's WIG and sub-WIGs. And our WIGs are all about how do we help more students persist and graduate. So whether you're in the custodial department, our campus police force, residence life, you're one of those navigators, your department has a goal and you're making weekly commitments to that goal to help our students basically retain and graduate. And so we've doubled down and invested in that process because we know that our students are just that important. When I came to OCC, some of the frustration I heard from our faculty or staff were, we're doing a lot of things. We got a lot of initiatives and there's initiative fatigue, but it's not moving the needle the way that we want. This 4 disciplines of execution is designed to help us take things out of what we're already doing, shine a light on it, focus in on it, and make some weekly commitments to move the needle. So that's where we're at. And it's a great journey to be on. As you said, earlier, we're helping students, whether they know what they want to do when they come here, or we're helping students who say, yep, I definitely know. I want to be a nurse, and I'm here for your nursing program, right? So it doesn't matter to us how you get to us. It does matter how we interact with you to help you succeed.
Did you find restructuring any academic areas difficult, easy, everybody on board?
Well,
A little
it's
wary,
higher
a
education.
little wary
So
of the change, my friend,
whether you're in higher education, for profit, it doesn't matter. Change is not change is not an easy thing for people, and I respect that. So we had many conversations on campus about why we were doing things and how we were doing things. Some people, as in any organization, were gung ho, let's do it. Some people were like, wait, I'll wait and see. Some people were like, we don't want to do it, right? But that's where leadership comes in, and you have to be able to have a vision and see down the road, right? Some of these changes are helping. So yes, changing that academic structure. There were some people who were, kind of, hey, well, I'm not really sure that's going to work, right? We changed the academic structure. We hired the navigators. And that was the only thing we did, that we did that in summer of 2023. And wait a minute, go to the 2024 academic year, and our fall to spring persistence rate went up for the first time in 2016. People started to see, well, maybe this is not a bad change, right? And we're still working through, like, hey, is it working for you? Is it not working for you? I have a very, what I would consider to be a collaborative style. Hey, let's sit down and talk about it. If it's not working, tell me what's not working. Let's see if we can work on that, right? Don't just say it's not working. Like, give me some specifics, and maybe we can sit down and figure out something that works. So yeah, it takes time. Any change takes time, whether you're in higher ed or anywhere. But I'm thankful to be at a place like Onondaga Community College, where our board of trustees, our faculty, our staff, and our community are supporting this effort. And because, like I said earlier, with partnerships, OCC, we're not going to do this by ourselves, right? This is together we can do this, right? This is not just OCC, it's the whole community. So
I like that. I read something the other day. It was the 20-20-60 rule of change. And I have seen it before, and it's, 20% of the people are going to love the change and be on board right away. 20% will never be on board no matter what you say or do. And then there's the 60% of people who need some massaging their data or whatever else. And we spend 80% of our time as the change agent on the 20% that will never change. And if we spend time on those 60% of people who are looking for a reason and the 20% that are with us, you can achieve it. And a lot of it is the time that we spend. And you're spending a lot of time ensuring that you can serve the community with the programs that you have. And another theme that comes out of my interviews with community college presidents is making sure not to overserve. It's really easy to start a program here, start this program, start that program. Community wants this, community wants that. Then you got 274 programs. You know, how do you control that, I don't know, need to serve the community with the reality of the business model and demand?
Yeah, it's an interesting challenge. And I can give you some specific examples for, we you're right. We can't do everything, right? But there's some things we can do, right? And so, this idea of skilled trades, right? Welding, HVAC, we looked into that. We have some people with those skills already on our faculty and staff. Okay, it's a heavy lift, but it's something we can do, right? I had some people come to me and say, hey, what we really need in the community is we need somebody to train dental hygienists. Okay, we look into it and we realize how much it's going to cost to set up a program. We got to build a facility. We got to do all of these things. Okay, we can't do that, but let us help you find a partner who can do that for you, right? We're not in the business of providing healthcare. We train healthcare providers, but we don't provide healthcare. And so we just recently partnered with Syracuse Community Health Center, and they have a quick care urgent center right on our campus now.
Nice.
That serves not only our faculty, staff, and students, but it also serves the community, right? So that concept of, yes, we can't do it all ourselves, but we can partner with others, right? And that's not just in Onondaga County and Syracuse area, it's across the state, right? I had an individual who came to me and said, hey, Warren, he's a farmer and he farms sheep and other animals. And he said, it would be really great if Onondaga could secure this piece of equipment that we need in this industry to test our wool. And I said, well, I don't have a veterinary tech program. I don't have somebody. So I connected him with one of my colleagues at another community college that has that type of program, right? And so we can, even though we can't do it all, we can be the conduit, we can be, that partner that gets you to who can, help you solve your problem, right? And so that's really what it comes down to, right? And so you gotta be strategic about those things. So there's some things we say yes to, and some things we say yes, but it's not us, right? And then every now and then you get a thing that you have to just say, well, no, there's no way, right? There's no way we can do that. So.
What else do you want to say? Because we're going to have you back for a quick subscriber-only episode, cool. Mini episode. But what else do you want to say about Onondaga Community College? Open mic, before I ask you our final question. Take it in any direction you want. What else do you want to say?
Open mic. Well, I'll just, kind of sum up some of the things and put some numbers to it. So I talked about, our graduates graduating, most of our graduated, with no student loan debt. Our tuition is $2,600 a semester, which is an amazing cost. I talked about students taking our coursework in high school. We have over 3,000 students who are earning OCC credit while they're in high school, all for free because of the foresight of our trustees to recognize that young people in high schools needed these type of courses. We're working in the advanced manufacturing semiconductor space with Micron and other companies to start that training in high school. Actually, we have programs where some of the high school students will have 30 credits in our electromechanical degree program. I told you earlier, 11 of our students were Micron interns. What I didn't tell you was 2 of those interns had just graduated from high school when they went off to do their internship because they were able to take our coursework in high school. And then the last thing that I didn't talk about is our Small Business Development Center, which is one of the largest small business development centers in the state of New York, where we're actually working with new entrepreneurs and current entrepreneurs who want to enhance what they're doing. And that center is now working with our students who want to be entrepreneurs. So we have, students who are musicians or artists or whatever, right? Culinary management students here who are saying, I want to be an entrepreneur. I want to take these skills I learned at OCC and open my own business. And so whether you want to go work for somebody, you want to open up your own business, we're able to do that all at that affordable cost. So, I would leave it there and just say thank you for having me here to, talk about this wonderful institution, but also to talk about community colleges in general. And the value proposition that community colleges have, working in partnerships with the community, businesses, and our 4-year partners.
I love it, everybody. This is hits close to home for me. It's an honor to talk with you, Warren, and we're going to have you back in a second. But look, here you go, everybody. He is Dr. Warren Hilton. He is the president of Onondaga Community College, and trailblazing leader in the space. You've just upped.
Attention.
Registration is now open for the Middle States Commission on Higher Education 2024 Annual Conference, Protecting the Future, Champions for Higher Education, December 11th through 13th, 2024 in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Don't miss out. Register today at msche.org/annual-conference or head to msche.org and click on the conference link. I'll see you there. Higher ed leaders, ready to level up your marketing and enrollment strategy? Join us at Insights EDU February 12th through 14th in New Orleans. The ultimate higher education marketing and enrollment management conference is here. Take advantage of early bird prices until December 12th. Register now at insightsedu.com. Welcome to the era of the modern learner.
Hey everybody, it's Elvin Freitas, co-founder of the Edit Experience. And hopefully you know by now that we have started our subscription-based model where we have original content, bonus content, get invites to special events. So right now it's $2.99 a month, and as of January 1st, 2025, it's going to go up to $19.99 a month. So go to edupexperience.com, edupexperience.com, look for subscribe now to lock in that lifetime EdUp Experience Founders rate. $2.99 a month, edupexperience.com. Look for subscribe.